Hi everyone. I'm not doing an 1.5 hour vlog today like I did last time. But I had a really good day today. And I haven't had one of those in a really long time. So I figured I'd come on here for a short time and share with you. Because I know that many of my vlogs have been cynical and sad or mad. Not so much the bra one, if that was the last one that you watched. But yeah, I've just been in a negative, not good place. And it's the week before Lupron, so I can't even say that that's like why I feel better. I'll explain to you what's happened to make me feel better. Nothing like monumental or anything. So right now with where I am, I'm back on the tamoxifen. I took a 2-week vacation from it. My oncology nurse said that I could. But I'm back on it again because obviously don't want to have cancer again. So they put me back on it, but they put me back on it 10 milligrams instead of the 20, thinking that if I gradually got back on it, like, I don't know what miraculous thing is supposed to happen. Maybe the miraculous thing is that I'm supposed to have a good day. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. But long term, like, I don't think I can stay on the 10 milligrams. I think I have to go back to the 20. So that was the plan. Get off the tamoxifen for 2 weeks, just give my body a break from all of it, see how my body reacts. And I did a vlog earlier, I think like 2 vlogs ago, as to me being off and what I felt differently then. Like now I'm back on, but at half the dose. So, I mean, little things I'm noticing, like the hot flashes are coming back. Like right now it's 9 o'clock at night, and I just came back from seeing a concert, local band that was playing, and like, if you've been following along, my apartment was flooded out in the town I had lived in for 13 years, and I live in a different town now in a different apartment. So I went back to the other town because that's where all my friends are, and saw a whole bunch of friends that were there because I've lived in the town for 13 years. So I'll get to that because that's the second part of what made my day good. I'm still cynical, but not so much angry. And I kind of like the place that I'm at right now, not because I'm like not wanting to stick a needle in my eye, but because I remember for so much of the chunk of time after diagnosis, I think after surgery, once things calm down a little bit, like there's just so much stuff that happens, and like, it's just so absurd that you laugh at things that just really to other people aren't funny. But let me rewind. So being on the 10 milligrams, what does it look like that's different for me? The hot flashes have come back. I will be walking in the Runway for Recovery show again. It's a model catwalk show thing. Runway, not catwalk, sorry. Runway models, that's what I am. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my son just texted me. So yeah, I'll be walking in the Runway for Recovery runway show again this year. And we had headshots that we met in Boston and did headshots. And it was on a day that it was like super hot and humid outside. As I'm saying that right now, like, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually having a hot flash like right now. And they're not flashes, like I'm gonna be hot. Like my air's not on. I feel like it's 1,000 degrees in here, but it's not. This is why I drink water during my vlogs, to be unprofessional, because these aren't professional vlogs. And I'm freaking hot. While you say, yes, Jen, you are hot. And I say, ooh, thank you. Anyhow, I feel like back to the sarcastic, enjoyable, funny me today. So anyway, so being in the 10 milligrams, like we were doing the headshots, and it was, I think 6 o'clock at night when they started. By then, clearly my morning gabapentin's worn off. I take it in the morning after breakfast, then I take another one at nighttime to help me sleep. My sleep has been okay. Actually, I think I feel like a baby. I feel like I slept through the night the past like 2 nights being the 10 milligrams. Weirdly, I'm sleeping better on the tamoxifen. I don't know what that's about. That's not how it was when I started taking the tamoxifen. Oh my God, I'm hot. Oh, where's my fan? I don't know. I got someone for jury duty. I can use that as a fan. Oh shit, it's hot. Yeah, I'm weirdly sleeping better since being back on the tamoxifen. I don't really know what that's about. But the hot flashes are back, and it sucked that when I went to do headshots, I did my picture like right away, and then we were mingling for like 2 hours or so, and I was just dripping with sweat, and they had wine there, and if I have alcohol, when the gabapentin's worn off, I don't really day drink, so if I'm gonna have a glass of wine or something, it's probably gonna be at night, but then my meds have worn off at night, and then I just, like, I sweat. Like, alcohol just makes hot flashes, like, so much worse. Ugh. So I think I had 1 glass of wine when I was at headshots, and then I just downed a whole bunch of water because I was just so damn hot. But what's interesting is, like, I'm in a room with, I don't know, maybe 40 other women. Not all of them are on tamoxifen, but many of them are, and I feel like a lot of them were younger than me, but they weren't having, or if they were having hot flashes, like, I couldn't tell. Meanwhile, for me, like, my hair is like getting like super poofy from all the humidity. I'm like beating up with sweat and stuff, and like here I am trying to mingle with new people, and I just didn't have the desire or energy to like be super social. I was awkward. I don't remember half the things that I said, and I just wanted to like sit in front of the fan in a corner by myself. And that was just 2 days ago. And that's just not me. And it was really frustrating. Because obviously not everyone who's out there would even want to do a runway show. Like you're walking down a runway or catwalk in front of, I'm not exaggerating, like 800-900 people. I've always been, not always, but like since like late high school, been extroverted. But that night, like I wasn't extroverted. It's like you forget how to be socially like normal. And with COVID thrown into all that too, like, I don't know, I thought everyone was just socially awkward, but as I'm looking around the room, there's plenty of women that are mingling that aren't being socially awkward. So I just got really frustrated with myself, but whatever. Like I came home and took a wrong turn and ended up in like nowhere's land in Boston. Whatever. Anyhow, but I had made plans to see a friend of mine this morning to have breakfast with her before I went to work today. And she's been through a whole, not a breast cancer survivor, but she has other medical things that are going on. But she's been through a lot herself. And I find that I tend to, I don't know if it's, I feel more comfortable, or there's a realness to people that have been through a lot of shit, that they just get it. Even if it's not the same shit as your shit, they like get what it's like to go through shit. That makes sense. So I went out for breakfast with her this morning, and I was running 10 minutes late or something, and I'm like, crap, like why does it always take me so freaking long to get out of the house in the morning or apartment, whatever. And it's a matter of like, my hair is just uncomfortable. Like how it touches me is just weird. It's the week before Lupron, and I know I get sensory stuff then anyway. Like I have this ring on, which I think I've showed you before. It's just plastic or whatever. But I sit there and I fiddle with it. I move it from finger to finger. And it's just like something to just like tinker with, that it helps with the sensory stuff. And then like, if you're just tuning in, like I got my helix pierced. I got a cotton a brush the other day, right before the runway thing. Oh my gosh. Right before headshots, I bought a new hair flattener thingy, but it's a brush that's heated, and I ran the brush through and it nicked, which I know happens. It nicked the back of my helix piercing, and I pulled it. Oh my God, that hurt. I think it's okay. I don't know. I've been treating it very gingerly. Anyway, it takes me a long time to get things going in the morning. Like my hair feels weird. I'm not really sweating in the morning. I don't really have a lot of hot flashes during the day. They're pretty much all at night. But then it's like, what am I going to wear? So I did the bra vlog. So I've been wearing a bra, different ones, because I bought 5 altogether, including a sports bra. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I wore a different bra each of those days. And then today's a Thursday, and I'm like, my body just kind of needs a break from the confinement of wearing the bras that I have. They're post-mastectomy bras. You can watch that whole vlog if you want to know what that means. They're pretty. Like, you wouldn't know from the outside that they're post-mastectomy bras. But I'm not used to having my boobs like confined to one like spot. Oh, the air kicked on. Hallelujah. Oh. Anyhow, so today I wore an outfit that I'm not wearing a bra. I'm not gonna, I mean, that's as far as you get to see, but I'm not wearing a bra. Clearly that wouldn't work with a top like this. My boobs are the implants are very heavy. So anyway, the point is getting out in the morning and deciding, like, you have to think about what you're gonna wear. Am I gonna wear a bra? Am I not gonna wear a bra? Do I have a bra that's clean? Which one's the most comfortable one to wear? Does it match with the whopping maybe 3 shirts I have that fit? You know, if I have a dress, like, okay, what shoes am I gonna have? Are my feet swollen? Are they not swollen? What are my feet gonna look like, you know, 3 hours from now? And anyway, so I wore this, and then I wore these sandals that are not really fashionable, but they are practical and they are comfortable, and I'm like, fuck it. And I just walked out. My makeup came out decent today. I'm just hot because hot flashes. And my hair came out decent, but then I end up spending so much more time on my makeup than I ever have because I can control that. And that's like the underlying thing with why I had a good day today, is what sorts of things I had control over that I chose to do that led me to having a really good day today. The makeup thing is just like, that's just a matter of having control, because I don't have control over how my boobs are going to feel in the morning, and I don't have control over my ankles swelling. I'm told it's not from the tamoxifen, but it sure as hell didn't happen before all this other stuff happened, so I don't know. I tend to think that that's not true, by the way, because when I was off the tamoxifen, my ankles were not swollen at all. But I'm told by the doctors that, like, one has nothing to do with the other. I think that's untrue. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I look at my ankles and they're like, oh, those are my feet. I forgot what my feet looked like when my ankles weren't swollen. Anyhow, they're not swollen all the time, by the way. Like, I'll put on, like, sandally strappy shoes, and then I'll go to work and maybe have the shoes on for a half hour, an hour or something, and then, like, my feet hurt, and it's because they're starting to swell up. And it's winter or summer. It has nothing to do with what the temperature is outside. It is linked to how much salt I eat, but I'm also very careful about what I eat. In general, I eat very healthy. And I definitely have a low salt diet. Of course, there are exceptions here and there, but for the most part. Anyhow, so I was late getting there, and it was frustrating me that I was late getting there. This is, again, like, no control over traffic and me taking so long to get out of the house. But what I loved was that my friend that I met was also late, pretty much about the same time. And and she told me that she had tried on several outfits, like, not to impress each other. That's like, you know, I love her, she loves me. It's not about that. It's just about, like, leaving the house and feeling comfortable in what you're wearing. And she said she had tried several outfits before. She's just like, okay, and then she just put on what she put on. And I loved that, because I'm like, that's how I feel, but not even for the same reasons of why you feel that way. And it's part of why I get along with her so well. The thing that really sucks about this whole breast cancer thing, and I don't know if it's just like a PTSD thing, or if it's a medication thing, if it's a menopause thing, who the hell knows. But what I love, when I went to the runway thing and you're surrounded by all those other women who've gone through it, everyone was introducing each other, and they're all saying, I'm not going to remember your name in like 5 minutes. My memory is like crap. But all our memories are crap. So it's like, we recognize each other's faces, especially the models that walked last year too. But I'm like, I don't remember your name. But it's okay, because they don't remember my name either, and it's all fine. Because all of them have like memory stuff going on, or brain fog, or whatever the heck you want to call it. And like you might remember half an hour from now, because everyone's in the same boat in that way. So I found that kind of amusing. So one thing, like, yes, with the flooding, I still have a whole ton of stuff in boxes to have to unpack. I bought myself a leather bound journal, pretty thick. And I write in there things that empower me. I can't find it. I haven't unpacked it yet. I hope to God that no one threw it away. If they did, I'll just make another one. But I would write things in there that empowered me. When someone said something nice about me or whatever, I'd either print out like the text or like whatever format it was in, like put it in the book. If it's on a Post-it, like put it in the book. And it was just like Jen's empowerment journal. I did that for somebody else once, and like I wrote down all the things that like I loved about this person, and I would like take the journal and I would just write in there when they weren't looking. And I said like I'd love to have that for me. So I just went to Barnes & Noble one day, and it took a while, but I went to Barnes & Noble one day and just picked out a really pretty journal. And it was leather bound, and I'm like, well, that's expensive, but I'm like, would I do that for somebody else? And I have, and I would. So I'm like, why wouldn't I do that for me too? So I bought it. And it was like a $50 journal. I'm like, oh my gosh, I spent $50 on myself. But like, I wouldn't think twice about spending $50 on a nice gift for a friend. I am my own friend. It took a lot of crazy things for me to learn that. But I haven't found it. So it's dumb things when like I've been in a really negative place again. Today's Thursday. My Lupron is a week from tomorrow. It's my 23rd Lupron. And I know I always get either sad, mostly sad, not really depressed, but lately it's been like frighteningly like sad. Like I actually got concerned about myself, sad. And I did bring it up to doctors. I wasn't being like stupid about it, but it gets to the point where like I'm so overloaded that I'm not me at all. And it's concerning, and I brought it up, but it's like, yeah, we can pull you off the meds and then your cancer might come back. So you have to choose, you know. I may or may not be on the Lupron in another 2 months. Like, I don't know that. But if I'm off the Lupron, like, you take chances with things. And it's like, do you want to take chances? You know, everything is like a balancing act of what you're choosing to do, which is hard. But anyway, I've been in frighteningly, like, concerning for me, negative places. And I know all the things that you're supposed to do, but I don't necessarily do them. Like anyone who's like, oh yeah, you know, I know how to lose 50 pounds. You go to the gym and you eat like healthier food. But do you do it? I hate the gym. No. You know, not that I need to lose 50 pounds, but you get the gist. So like, I know that like when I don't meditate a lot in the morning, when I ease up on that, when I ease up on my gratitude journal, when I ease up on like hanging out with people, that's when I get into a dark space. And I know in my head that all I have to do, because I see the correlation, all I have to do is like meditate more or take longer walks or whatever I have to do. But that's not what I'm doing. I went to the grocery store and bought a 12 pack of those Hawaiian sweet rolls and ate 5 of them. I don't do that all the time, clearly, but like that's, you know, they're healthier things to be doing when I'm in a bad, sad place. Anyway, so I wasn't in that place today, and I went for breakfast with my friend, and I was laughing, not like a joke or anything. I think I was laughing about her trying on the 6 outfits, and I laughed not at her, that I get it, because I'm like, I did the same thing. I didn't try on 6 outfits. I don't even know if I have 6 outfits that I could try on because my body is like not my own, and rewind to the flooding part. but I laugh because it's like, it's the absurdity of all of it. Like, yeah, I get why you would have to try 6 outfits on before you walk out the friggin' door, and why it would make you 10 or 15 minutes late to see someone that you really want to see. It's just all friggin' absurd. I found out recently that yet another person I went to high school with was diagnosed with breast cancer. If you've been following this vlog from the get-go, go you, and thank you. But shortly after I was diagnosed, a friend of mine who I've known since I was 5 was diagnosed. It's the marching band vlog. It actually, that vlog has gotten like a lot of views. It's the Music Soothes the Savage Beast or something with marching band. It's that vlog. And that really threw me for a loop because I'm like, what the hell? And now, like, another friend of mine from high school has been diagnosed. And I know another person off the top of my head that was diagnosed. I have a good friend of mine from high school, sweet, sweet, sweet woman. She died of breast cancer, which just floors me. She's younger than I am. Well, she was young. I mean, was younger than I am. And she died from breast. She had it. It came back, I believe. And she passed. She was young. And it's like such a sweet, sweet, sweet person. Like no one could ever say a bad word about her. I know that sounds cliche, but it's true about her, that she was just always smiley and would talk to anyone. It didn't matter like what clique you were in high school. Like, she was just friends with like everybody. And she died really young. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, that's insane. There's a thing too, and it's the case with me too, because my genetic markers were negative, even though there is cancer in my family, including breast cancer, but none of us have the genetic markers, which is what it is. But the only thing that I share, obviously in common with my family, is that like we grew up in the same place because we were in the same house. And there is a disproportionately higher number of breast cancer that occurs on Long Island. It's not just Long Island, New York. It's like other places too, just have pockets where there are more people that have certain cancers. Why? I mean, there's reasons for other places, like if there's chemical spills or whatever. I don't know why there's a higher likelihood or a higher number of women on Long Island that have breast cancer. I don't know. I'm going to negative spaces, and that's not what I came on here for. But anyhow, so I went for breakfast this morning with my friend, and I was just laughing, like I said, at the absurdity of all of it. But then I noticed that I was laughing, and I said to her, like, I have to remember this. Like, I'm laughing, and what is it that's making me laugh? And it wasn't the absurdity of stuff. It was being with her and the ease that I have with her. And the reason I mentioned that notebook is because there's so much stuff spinning in your head that, like, when you're feeling super, super down, I can't always think of, oh, I should call this person. I don't know why. And I literally have to write it down in order to remember. Like, I had that list, the SOS list of people that said that they could help me when I was diagnosed in the first place. And I had to write it all down because I'm like, I won't remember who they are. Even people I've been friends with for like 10 years that say, call me whenever. Like, when that whenever comes and you're at such a dark, not good place, I can't think clearly as to who said I could call them. And I've lost a lot of friends, not past. I mean, like, I've lost that they don't communicate with me anymore after I was diagnosed. And it still hurts, and I kind of understand her and I don't, because I haven't like had a conversation. Well, one person I did have a conversation with, but many of them I haven't. And I don't understand, like, even with family, like, I don't understand. Like, I thought family was supposed to be there no matter what. And that's not always the case. And it hurts. I'm less, I guess I'm just more confused about it than I am sad at this point. Would I like things to be differently? Of course. Because some of them were like friends that were like family. And it's just so hard to wrap your head around. And I know that it's not like all me, because it happens to a lot of people. Most of the time people just don't want to talk about it. So I had to remember, I'm like consciously, like I am like, I just laughed. What was it that made me laugh? It was hanging out with her that made me laugh. If I had the journal, someplace, I'd write down in there, like when you're, like I put it in my phone too, like when you're feeling sad, you know, go see her. Even if it's not that day, like just make a date to go see her because you'll laugh again. I don't think I've ever hung out with her where I haven't like had a good time. Yeah. So that was this morning. And then like, I wasn't running around really like a lunatic today, but the end of the day was this concert that I just came back from. And now that COVID's eased up, like there was like a record amount of people that were there. It was like on a town green. And I love that kind of thing. Like I love live music. I feel like I've become, you know, one of those people that like, you know, you haul your chair and it's like, oh, it's still awkward to haul chairs because like to haul anything over my shoulder, like it's not from the reconstruction, it's from the lymph node. Look at that. So my arms have gotten so, oh, they're not as hard as they used to be. Anyway, in general, I think my arms have gotten much more toned since I've been kayaking and stuff. Sure. You know what's weird, actually, while I'm being all weird with my emotions that way? Even like when I do this, you'd think that they would be symmetrical about how my muscles are, but if you look, this is the side that had more drama. I have this like weird, like indentation-y kind of line thing here, but like here it's similar, but not the same. And I don't even know what that's about, whatever. But I have 6 lymph nodes, I don't know why I spit when I said that, that were taken out of my right side. And there's just weirdness to it, like this here, like I can feel it a little bit, but for the most part, like this is numb. And I have like pulling from my skin. I'm not going to get into too much of that with you because I don't really want to show you. But I have pulling at my skin in the spots where the 6 lymph nodes were taken out, mostly just from scar tissue. It just kind of pulls the skin in. And as time has gone on and after I went through PT and stuff, like they massaged them during PT to make it more, you know, round and pretty looking and stuff. But your armpits never kind of totally, here, let's go, whoa, never kind of totally look the same. I'm talking about my good day and now I'm showing you my friggin' armpits. It's just like the dress that I'm wearing. I had 2 lymph nodes here, so there's not as much like drama here. I hope I don't have anything super, you know, like sometimes when your deodorant like balls up. Anyway, but there is like where the lymph nodes were taken out, the skin just looks different on that side. So when I'm carrying like something like a chair, like a folding chair, you know, the kind that goes in the sack kind of thing, it's still a little uncomfortable to have it like over here. Like my purses have wide straps or I'll wear crossbodies. But it's been relatively recently that I've worn purses that just are like regular purses that go over my shoulder because I had frozen shoulder. And obviously like having the weight on my shoulder, I was trying to ease up on it. Plus it feels weird. Like this part feels all normal. It's like, it starts, wow, it starts, it pretty much starts here. Like they talk about your armpits a lot when you're talking about breast cancer and stuff, but like, I guess I didn't realize, like you think your boobs are like here, and this is where things should be impacted, is like right here. And if you have stuff, because you do have lymph nodes, obviously underneath your armpits and stuff, but it's not just there. Like my skin here, it's not, like I can feel it, but if I pinch hard, it doesn't really hurt too much. And it's like, once I get to like here, that feels normal. But like this, that doesn't feel normal. It's just, I mean, literally when you have this kind of surgery done, it impacts you from like here, well, I guess down to like your ribs, like underneath your boobs, but it starts up so much higher than you think that it would start. Anyhow, so I had the chair on my shoulder and it just feels weird. But it was comfortable for me to go there because I'd been to those concerts so many times before. Obviously, as a resident of the town, I'm no longer a resident of the town because of the flooding. But it was nice. Like I got out of the car and the person that parked on the other side of me is a good friend of mine. she brought wine, and I'm like, I can't do wine at night because like my hot flashes look crazy. And all of a sudden everyone starts putting their jackets on because they're getting cold. And one of the pros is that like I don't really get cold. I did get cold when I was off the tamoxifen entirely. Like now, like I since being back on, like I don't get cold really. So everyone's like putting sweaters and blankets on, and I'm like, like I'm here wearing this. And I'm not cold. And I'm like, all right, like it is getting chillier. I could tell because I'm not as hot. So I'll have a glass of wine and just sit and hang. And it was just nice. Like just sitting on a, you know, talking to friends, getting up and saying hi to other friends. And I look around, and this is what was great, part of what was great about ending the night. I look around these people, and there's a lot of people that are there. And many of them I know. I know a lot of people in town. Like I volunteer for a lot of things. I don't have to give the reasons, but I know a lot of people in town. I have a lot of friends. Not all of them step up. And it was funny because the person I was meeting there totally did step up. And the woman that had the wine, like she totally stepped up beyond what I would think. Like just because like we weren't besties or anything, but she really stepped up and like plowed things out for me and helped me with the insurance stuff and all these things I even forgot about. And I'm like, that was just like amazing that she did that. And I need to have a party and thank everybody. Anyhow, but talking about choice, so like I'm sitting there and I'm looking around the crowd of like, I'm sure there were easily well over 100 people that were there. And I see all these people that I know, but I'm like, who do I want to like actually get the energy of getting my ass out of my chair and going to say hi to? And out of all those people, I only got out of my chair to say hi to one other person. Well, the two people I talked to the most were sitting right by me, so I didn't have to move much. But like, old Jen would have cared more to be like, hey, come see me and, you know, try hard. But I didn't want to try hard today. I'm like, if people want to come see me, they'll come over to me. That's okay. Like, I don't need to say hi to 50 people today. I just want to say hi to who I feel like I want to say hi to. And that was only one person that I got up to say hi to. And someone did come over and sit with me, and that was nice. I mean, aside from who I was meeting there. And then I switched towards the end of the night and was talking to my other friend and sitting on a picnic blanket. And I ate a sandwich while I was there, or a wrap, whatever. And then just sat down and talked to her and friends that she had and that she brought. And it was just nice. Like, there was no trying and there wasn't a lot of caring. I don't mean that really in a negative way. It's just like I had returned to a place that I was at for a really long time after diagnosis, after surgery, when things settled down, the time of like not caring and just like realizing life is short, do whatever you want. I don't care who I piss off. I don't care who I make happy. I'm just going to make Jen happy. And that's all that's going to matter. And that's how I felt tonight. I don't know what it was that turned. Maybe it was breakfast that made me that way. I have no idea. But like, I just got to take it for what it is, because I know that my emotions are like this right before Lupron, and I don't know how I'm going to be feeling tomorrow. So I'm just like riding the wave until I go to sleep with it a little bit. And I know I've just been really negative in general in my vlogs, and I just wanted to be on here to tell you that like today I'm not. And that's awesome. And I want to like hold on to this. So even like in another month when I have my 24th Lupron and I'm feeling super, super, super down, I can come back and look at this vlog, even if I don't watch the whole thing, just to remind myself that like, I wanted to stick a fork in my eye 2 days ago because I was in such a shit place. And I don't want to do that today. It's tough when you're like in these like down places that like are concerning to you. And then like being aware enough about yourself to get yourself out of that place. There was something else that one of my kids did too that made me really smile. Nothing that he said, just something that he did. And I just came home and I just had this big smile on my face. So I smiled twice this week. Woohoo! But I know, like, you know, I started these vlogs for me, and then then it morphed to like helping. Well, I obviously have done like 190 of these, which is crazy. Oh, somebody's home. Wait, I'm vlogging. Do you want to be on or no? I think that might be a no. I don't edit these, so do you want to give me like 5 minutes, or you just want to like walk that way? Okay. One of those children just came home. And now I forgot what the heck I was talking about. I don't know. Positive, happy things. Today was a good day. That's what I'm sharing. Even though my kid is like walking around the camera to not see things. And even to have like my kid home, I will say that. Like, is it just a positive feeling? It makes me feel comfortable and warm. But today was about choice. And I was glad to be back in a space of, like, I didn't really give a shit if she was upset that I didn't go say hi to her. Because, like, I don't care. Like, all I cared about was me and me having a nice time. And that was it. My back was facing the band for, like, the last 2 songs, and I felt bad that I didn't clap. And then I'm like, but if I clap, I have to turn, and right now my boobs are sore, so I don't want to do that. So old Jen would have been like, oh, I feel so bad. Let me turn around and be uncomfortable. And today I'm like, no, I'm not going to be uncomfortable because Jen's boobs hurt. And like, I'm just not doing that. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy their music and stuff. But yeah. So it was nice to be turned back into that space. I don't know how long it will last. But I'm going to take it for what it's worth and pray that I find that leather notebook someplace. And just write those things down, as silly as that might seem. Like, what did I do that made me smile? What happened that made me smile? Because in those times when you're like super dark and you're like crying and like, woe is me and all of that, and it's out of control, you know, what can you do to, not necessarily turn it down that minute, because I think it's important to have those feelings and let them out. You keep it all in, that's not a healthy thing to do. I think it's important to let those out. And to be there for a day or two, okay. But to be there for a week, not so much. Yeah. So that's the point of my 37 minutes and 35, 36, 37 seconds. Is that there is like, positive things that pop in. And sometimes you have to create them. And sometimes you just have to notice when you are smiling or when you are laughing. And give yourself some grace that you might have to write it down. Just to remind yourself to get out of that dark place. So that's where I am right now. Yeah, that's all I got for you. So till next time, let's see what happens. I'll probably check in for my 23rd Blue Prawn, and we'll see what happens from there. All right, bye everyone.